Aujourd'hui, je vais parler de, I guess, a problem that most people probably don't have, but I've just had recently, which is how do I actually feel to be on holiday or vacation when I'm already on permanent holiday slash vacation, you know, because I've retired early. Hey, Zempak here. So you know I make videos on how to achieve financial independence. And honestly, this video is not quite that, right? And I can't even tell what playlist I should put this one under because this video is more about the effect of fire rather than the how to get there part of it of fire, right? But this is my life, and at the current moment, I'd like to reflect on this particular subject, aka an incredibly first world of problems, right? So how do I actually feel to take a few weeks off, as I just did for the past few weeks, from the routines I've established for myself, and literally vacationing away from my permanent state of vacationing? I can only hope I don't come across as too entitled, but honestly, I may not be able to help it, right? So please forgive me in advance. Oh, and I keep forgetting to say this earlier in the video, so here I am trying it, alright? Subscribe, like, and comment on something totally bizarre and obscure and unempathizable. You can do it. I mean, get to financial independence, that is. And have all the similar first world problems as I have. I believe in you. Really, I do. Now, let's see how I break this problem down, right? Number one, I think I look forward to trips less than I would compared to when I was working, right? I think this is definitely true. I mean, the past 2 weeks was my explicit vacation because we had to finally get that wedding that the pandemic has delayed more than once for more than a year. So that was a very, very explicit reason to go somewhere else and to do a particular thing. But for me, especially compared to my wifey, I mean, I knew that she literally couldn't wait to take the time off and get to our celebration, whereas on my side, honestly, while I also wanted to have a celebration part, of course, the idea of traveling to escape to a different place just holds less appeal these days. After all, I already have complete control of my time and space, really, right now at home. Maybe partly my relative lack of enthusiasm has to do with the fact that where we had our wedding was a place I've already been to before, so there's a lack of newness to it, right? Especially compared to staying put. I don't know, maybe I'm just generally a homebody, right? Or maybe it's the idea that once I could literally go anywhere at any time, pandemic permitting, of course, I feel lesser of a need to simply get away for the sake of getting away. Number two. Going on holiday clearly breaks routine, and that's the part I don't know if I like that either, right? Once again, this feels different than when the routine being broken is literally designed by me and for me, right? I can see, again, compared to my wifey, she was very happy on this past holiday, and she was really dreading going back to the office as our communal vacation days were coming to an end. But for me, I think I actually missed the routine that I established at home, right? Because that routine was adjusted and molded over time by me and for me alone. I even missed having to rack my brains a bit to make these clips in the mornings on weekdays, just 3 weekdays though. I mean, I know I don't really work that much, as you can see from the quality of these videos. But when on holiday and living in hotel rooms, I just feel like everything I did was like a one-off, right? Meaning I'm constantly a little bit paranoid that I forget something that can only be done at that singular given moment in time. Compare this to my feeling at home with my schedule that I can always adjust. It's just different, right? I think for me, routine means a calming sense of security. At the very least, who doesn't like sleeping in their own bed, right? Now, I've read some articles about the truly rich people in the world who literally, like, they truck over their own preferred mattresses to whatever hotels that they book a stay in. Wow, I thought that was extremely excessive, but now that I've been retired for a few years, I can sort of understand that. Because that at least solves the whole who wouldn't prefer to sleep in their own bed issue while traveling for the holidays or vacation time, right? Point number 3. Finally, I think I already realized that because I'm constantly already in vacation mode, even during any old regular week, like this one that I'm currently shooting this clip in, when I am in holiday in a foreign place, it's harder to get excited about like the little minor joys of going out or seeing the sights. I mean, I don't mean that I don't enjoy such activities. I just mean that they're only slightly out of the ordinary instead of being very out of the ordinary, right? It's actually kind of hard for me to describe, but for me, it's really about the mental state that I'm in, right? Again, I'll use the 2-week vacation we just had as an example. I'll compare how I see things versus how my wifey sees things, right? Like when we were on our kind of a mini moon holiday after the wedding, she wanted to go try all the bougie places in the cities that we were traveling in, and I'm like, okay, go along, get along, but with just less urgency, right? Because I'm already always on vacation, I think. So makes what that does to when I'm actually on, real vacation, as in not being in my home city, it just feels different, right? Like making explicit memories in a beach town over, a bar with a great view. It just makes that feel less pressing, I think, right? Let me put it in another way, right? Let's say for my wifey, I think I know she's trying to maximize the time that we spend at the foreign locations that we're in, which is obviously very reasonable. But for me, I'm like, hey, no big deal, because we can always come back to wherever we're at. And if we miss something, like the local attraction that we didn't get to this time, okay, so what? We can always come back whenever, right? It's like even though we normally live in Texas, I am somehow always on like this idea of like island time, right? Just chilling, without even a need of a drink in hand, even though I have one right now because I'm shooting this clip for the first time in a couple of weeks. A little anxious about that. Yeah, and because I'm always on island time, there's just less of a need for the explicitly vacation-y type of action items. Anyway, in conclusion, honestly, I'm just making this clip to recall what a strange sensation that I just realized that I've had, right? To not be as impressed by vacations anymore, right? And maybe my wifey will hear my reasoning in this very recorded format and someday soon finally join me in early retirement already. Hint, hint, wink. I mean, I wrote in the script to say wink, but I feel like I should actually be winking at the camera as well. So yeah, no pressure. Oh yeah, I guess I shouldn't probably say wifey anymore because now she's just my wife. I don't know, I still like wifey. Makes her sound kind of sassier, I think. Anyway, do you or have you ever felt like you've somehow become to be on island time in your mind? How did you achieve such a blissful state? I'd love to learn. Let me know in the comments. Cheers, I'll approach it.